extra time.
Hi, it's Kochannek here for Extra Time. As I unfortunately expected, Australia was going to win this match based on a number of factors. The very first one is that the COVID-19 lockdown has had more of an effect on the Indian team than the Australians. By far and away, there are no excuses for the Indian team. A number of the Australian players were also in quarantine. It looks as though the Indian team as a whole were certainly not in a position to be able to be at their best for both fielding, both their batting and their bowling. They were underdone. Some say they might have tried to get rid of a few of their cobwebs, but the reality is they actually lost the match. Australia scored some 374 runs to a very ordinary 308 under the circumstances. A number of the Indian batters looked like they lost their way somewhat, especially the likes of Kohli. Kohli was certainly looking good. Some shot he was dropped once and then eventually he was caught to a rather average shot. Very disappointing, in fact, the Indian team today. I expect them to put up a bit of a fight. They certainly have not done that today. A number of the Australian players, obviously the likes of Aaron Finch and Steve Smith, both scoring centuries. But more interesting, the way that the crowd reacted when Maxwell actually got his 45. I've not seen too many standing ovations for 45 runs before, and it certainly happened today. It was in particular, the way he went about his innings was very much a swashbuckling effort, very much a la IPL, and he certainly carried his form over very well. So it looks to me, though, Australia have started off very well. The likes of Kohli will certainly bounce back. I'm assuming Sunday we'll see him score and score big. Let's watch that match with great anticipation. India are certainly not out of the series at this point. Australia had a great start, as you would expect being on their turf. We are at the SCG, the home of the likes of Steve Smith and Dave Warner. Dave Warner also got a number of runs today, which was very interesting. On a slightly sadder note, this is also the 6th anniversary of Philip Joel Hughes, who was actually passed away on this day some 6 years ago. I was actually there that day, and it was a very sombre event, and the players would never imagine that one of their fellow players would actually lose their life in a game of cricket. From that point, though, there's been a lot of cricket that's occurred from there till now. Interestingly enough, Phil Hughes would have been about to turn 32 years of age, and who knows what his record would have been had he still been playing. I'm sure we would have seen many centuries from Philip, and the likes of Dave Warner and Smith in conjunction would have been a great triumvirate of players in a team that's been successful, but I'm sure Phil Hughes would have added more to that particular numbers of centuries. Going back to today's game, there's no doubt that India certainly were bowling too short and in the wrong areas. Australia took well advantage of that. They had a very strong start from their openers, and then were incredible to see 2 centuries in a match, again with players that have gone under the COVID-19 restrictions. I'm looking back now and saying that 2 weeks of quarantine with only 1 day outside of that into a bubble was not sufficient time for the Indian team to be prepared for the series. IPL commitments aside, they should have been given more time in this series, in my opinion. Let's wait for Sunday. Let's hope that India put up more of a battle, and we'll hopefully see Virat Kohli score a century and bring India back into play before his unfortunate departure after the first test match after the Adelaide test. Again, this is Kochannek for Extra Time. Stay tuned and don't forget to view, like and share our posts, and obviously subscribe to Extra Time so as you can see what updates we have to offer during the summer. Thanks for your time.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.